Move more, eat less, right? That's how you're going to lose weight. Wrong. When you're over 40, yes, you do need to move more and eat less, but there's way more to it than that. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you if you're a woman over 40 or like me, over 50, get in fantastic shape. Are you dieting and exercising and not seeing results when it comes to belly fat? Well, that happened to me, and it's really common, and there are 3 reasons why, which are actually nothing to do with eating less and moving more, and they're everything to do with hormones. Reason number 1, you have raised cortisol levels. Now, cortisol is actually a very important hormone. It's that fight or flight hormone. But what can happen, especially around perimenopause, is that you can have too much cortisol. And what raised cortisol does, it makes it really hard to lose fat. You can actually have a lot more fat sitting around your midsection, stress fat, and it actually interferes with all your other female hormones. Hormones like estrogen and progesterone. It can interfere with your sleep, and if you're highly stressed all the time, it's pretty likely that you've got raised cortisol. What can you do about it? Well, I'm talking about stress management. So some of the key things are actually letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore. When you get to midlife and around menopause, is letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore. Actually saying no to people, because a lot of the time you can have too much on your plate. Making me time, practicing self-care. That's actually taking time out for yourself to do the things that you love and actually spend some time relaxing. Believe it or not, it's going to help with reducing that belly fat. Lower stress levels mean lower cortisol levels. For me, self-care are things like getting outside walking, maybe going for a massage, listening to an audiobook, listening to a podcast, having some quiet time away from technology, meeting up with friends, having fun, going out dancing. Whatever works for you, practice self-care, because it's really going to help with your fat loss. Number 2 reason you can't lose belly fat is because you've got insulin resistance, and a lot more people have insulin resistance than are actually diagnosed with it. It's when cells in your muscles, fat and liver don't respond to insulin, and this causes your blood sugar levels to go up. Insulin resistance can lead to many of the chronic diseases that are now prevalent, especially when you're over 40. Those are diseases like hypertension, fatty liver, type 2 diabetes, heart disease. It's thought that in the USA, for example, as many as 85% of the population can be insulin resistant, and when you're over 40, you're actually much more prone to being insulin resistant than a younger person. And the problem with insulin resistance is that it can cause you to be overweight and cause belly fat. So what can you do about it? So the thing is, when you're thinking about carbohydrates, and many people get this wrong because they think you shouldn't eat any carbs at all, but that's not the case. What you want to go for is slow release carbohydrates, and combine your carbohydrates with protein, and that won't cause your blood sugar levels to rise quickly. And the types of carbohydrates you want to be eating are things like sweet potato, squash, oatmeal, black rice, brown rice, whole grains like whole grain bread, and try to avoid sugar and white flour because they cause a blood sugar spike, and that's actually what you don't want. And the third reason why you can't lose weight is lack of sleep, and this is probably the biggest reason. So why is that? Lack of sleep can actually cause disruption to your thyroid and your T3 and T4 levels, which are part of your thyroid function. And your thyroid function actually controls your metabolism. Lack of sleep can actually make you more prone to be insulin resistant, and that's what I talked about earlier. And lack of sleep also impacts on your hormones ghrelin and leptin that control appetite. So that's why you can find you get cravings when you've had a really poor night's sleep, cravings for high fat, high salt, high carbohydrate food. So what can you do about it? Well, you need to put in practice good hygiene techniques. So that's giving yourself time to wind down and actually get into a good sleep routine. It's also about reducing the use of technology, getting rid of your smartphone out of your bedroom. That can be really helpful, and not having really close screen time just before you go to sleep. Exercise can really help with improving your sleep, and avoiding processed foods and stimulants like coffee can improve your sleep too. And do make sure that the room that you sleep in is a cool temperature, because around menopause you can really find you've got raised temperature levels, especially at night. And you might want to consider the use of supplements, so L-theanine, magnesium, valerian root, ashwagandha and melatonin are all supplements that can really help you get a better night's sleep. So those were my 3 reasons why you can't lose belly fat, and let me know if any of that has affected you, because I do know that oftentimes you can be doing everything right in terms of how you eat and exercise, and it's still not working for some women.